Hi friends, welcome to the channel Unshackling Sudokus and Puzzles. Ashish here, and today we'll be covering a Sudoku variant called Lovely Neighbours Sudoku. Now this Sudoku is constructed by Ambrose and was really fascinated to see this Sudoku because there are only circles in it, there are no given digits here, right? So the moment I saw this Sudoku, I wanted to cover a video on this one. So I really thank the author for giving me an opportunity to cover a video on our channel. So before going to the Sudoku, I would highly recommend you to please subscribe to the channel Unshackling Sudokus and Puzzles if you haven't done so. It will really motivate us to cover videos on daily basis. And if at all you have a request for any Sudoku variant or a puzzle genre, do let us know in the comment below and we'll surely make a video on it. And now coming back to this Sudoku, so normal classic Sudoku rules apply. You need to have digits from 1 to 9 in each row, each column, this column, and 3 into 3 box without repetition. Apart from that, every circle given is nothing but the sum of all the adjacent cells to this circle will be equal to the number in the circle, right? So wherever you have circles given, the sum of all the adjacent cells that are sharing an edge to the circle will have the number equal to the circle in it, right? So if you have for example, if this is 6, sum of all these 4 numbers would have to be 6, which is not possible, of course. If this is 8, sum of these 4 numbers would have to be 8. So not all possible circles are given, which means you can still have circles that can have the this rule in this grid, right? And apart from that, you have one gray circle. That means this cell would have to be an odd digit, which is 1, 3, 5, 7 and 9. So nothing else. Such easy rules, and with that the Sudoku seems to be seriously elegant, right? Seriously amazing, because just a few circles, I could see some 8, 9 circles here plus this odd circle here, and this Sudoku becomes unique. So I'm really waiting to solve this Sudoku. Okay, let's start this Sudoku now. Where do I start it actually? Okay, minimum is 1, 2, 3 plus 1, that is 7. So this would have to be 7, 8 and 9. Same way this also would have to be 7, 8 and 9. All others are either at the edge or either at the edge of a box. So not this logic won't work here. 1 and 1, 2 and 3, that is again 7, 8 and 9, again possible. Or 1 and 2, 2 and 2. Oh no, 1 and 2 and 1 and 3, that is 4 and 7 again. So the minimum would have to be 7 here. No, you can still have a 6, 1 and 2, 1 and 2. 6 is also possible, right? Okay, you cannot have a 7 here because 1 plus 2 plus 3 would give you a 4 plus 5 and plus 1 minimum, that would be 10. So 7 is not possible. Oh, why did I highlight that? Okay, so 7 is not possible here. Okay, in other words, I can use this logic that I use in arrow Sudokus. So the minimum sum here in these 5 cells would have to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, taking these 2 circles in the account, right? So for these 2 circles, these are the 5 cells that are inside this box, that is 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5, that is the minimum sum here, which is 15, plus 1 and 1 would have to be 17, so you can only have 8 and 9 here. And which means these 2 cells would have to be 1 and 1. That is the minimum you can get and the maximum sum you can get inside these circles, right? Which means 1 in these 5 cells would have to be 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. 1 cannot be in any of these 4 cells because of the classic Sudoku rule, so this would have to be a 1 now. Awesome, really awesome. These 2 cells are 6 and 7. Again, what am I highlighting here? 6 and 7. The minimum is 2 plus 3 plus 1, that is 6. You already have 6, 7. So 6 and 7 is eliminated, 8 and 9. The same logic would work here. 2 plus 3 plus 1 is 6. 6 and 7 is not there, so 8 and 9. So let's take this now. 2 and 3 is the minimum here. 2 would have to be minimum here. So this can be 1. So 2 plus 3 is 5. You get a 2 here, that is 7 plus 1 is 8. So 6 and 7 are eliminated here. This cell can only be 2 and 3. What happens if this cell is a 2? This becomes 3. This is 2 and 3. So that gives you a 10 here. So this cell would only have to be 1, 2 and 3, 2, 3, 4 as 1 degree of freedom. You have 8 and 9, right? So it can either be 2 or a 3 or a 2 or a 4. And still this can be 2 or a 3. So that would give you a 1 degree of freedom for the sum. That gives you an 8 and 9 here. That's a good logic here. Can we have a 7 here? The moment we have a 7 here, these 3 cells would have to be 1, 2, 3 and this would have to be 2. Not possible, that is 8. And still we cannot have 8 here. Because, that's nice. The moment you have an 8 here, these 3 cells would have to be 1, 2, 3 and 2 here. That eliminates all the possibilities from this cell. So this cell would have to be a 9. That gives you an 8 here and a 9 here. And 9 means this cell would have to be 1, 2 and 4, that is minimum, because one of the 2 and 3 would have to be here. And taking the minimum value of 2 from 2 for this sum, that is 1, 2 and 4, and this would have to be 2. So if you have 1, 3 and 4 here and this has 2, that gives you a 10 here. So this would have to be a 3, eliminates 2 from this cell. 2 eliminates 2 from this cell because you have a pointing of 2 here. Eliminates 3 from this cell. 4. So these cells would have to be 5, that is 2 and 3. So this cell would have to be 3, 2. This 8 should give you a 7 here. So that is 5 and 2, 3 or 4. You cannot have a 2 here. So this you cannot have a 5 here. You cannot have a 3 here. So you cannot have a 4 here. And this cell would have to be a 9. That gives you a 9 in one of these 2 cells, right? Minimum is 4, minimum is 2, minimum is 1. 7. If I don't have a 2 here, the next minimum value would have to be 4, and that would be minimum here 4, minimum here, sorry. Oh, how did I pause this? I'll again play it. This cannot be 1, so this would have to be 1. That gives you a 9 here. You already have a 9 here, which means this cell would have to be a 2 at least. That gives you eliminates 2 from this cell, either 4 or a 5. That means either 2 or a 3. It cannot be a 5. Again, if this is not a 1, the minimum would have to be 3. This minimum would have to be a 4. Again, you get a 9 here. So this have to be a 1. That gives you a 4 here. That gives you a 1 and a 2 here. That gives you 8 or a 9. That means 4 or 5. 7 or 8, not 9. That gives you 4 on a 5. Okay, that gives you 2 in one of these 2 cells. This would have to be minimum of 4. So which means 1 would have to be in one of these 2 cells, because if you don't have 1 here in these 2 cells, the minimum sum would have to be 3 or a 4, and plus 4 gives you a 10 here. I am sorry, 11 here. So 1 would have to be in one of these 2 cells. 2 is not here. And the next sum would have to be 3. So 4 plus 4 is 8 or 9 here. So it had to be 1, 3, 4 or 4 and 5. 1 degree of freedom again. Okay. Either 1, 4 or 1, 3. Either 4 or 5. Anything. Okay, minimum here would have to be, cannot be 1. So 1, 3 and 4 or 1, 3, 5, that is 8 or 9. So in both the cases 1 and 3 would have to be in these 3 sums. And the degree of freedom is 1, so 4 and 5. So you have 1 3 4 and 5 quadruplet here, that is 6 7 8 and 9. Okay, can be anything here. Two would have to be in one of these two cells, because one is also not in one of these two cells. If you don't have two also, you have 3 and 4. Both 3 and 4 cannot. Okay, take it this way. The minimum sum in these four cells is 3 plus 4 is 2 plus 3 is 5. The minimum sum in these four cells would have to be 12. You cannot have anything more than 12, because if you have 13 here, this two cells would have to be 2 plus 3, that is 5. 13 plus 5 is 18. Sum of these two numbers can never be 18. It can only be 17, which means 2 would have to be in one of these two cells, because in the sum of 12 with 4 numbers, 1 and 2 are obvious. So 2 is in one of these two cells. So 2 cannot be here, 2 cannot be here. Okay. If you have 4 here in these two cells, or 3, three is in one of these three cells, 1 is in one of these two cells, right? So if you have a 1 here, 2, 3, 4 and 5, that sums to 14. Am I right? Plus 2 is 16, this would have to be 1 again. So if these two are 1 or these two are 1, if this is a 1 here, 1, 2, 3 and 4 is 10, 2 plus 3 is 15 again, 17, you need 17, okay. So that is possible. Nine would have to be in one of these two cells. If there is 1 and 4 here, 5, that would have to be 4 here. If you have a 4 here, 1, 3 and 5, this would have to be 2, this would have to be 3, again this would have to be 2. 2, 3 and 2, that gives you 7. I cannot be 2, 3. Okay. How can you get 8 here? Is there possibility of an 8? You already have a 2 here. You need 6 more. That is 3 and a 3. So if you have a 3 here, not possible. 3 and 3 is not possible. 5 and 1, not possible. 2 and 4, which means 2 times 2. This is 2, this is 2, this is 4. That gives you an 8 here, right? Okay, guys, this cannot be a 4. 2 and 3, so this is 4 and 5. So 3 would have to be in one of these 3 cells. So if this is 4, this would have to be 3, this is 5, this would have to be 2. How is, okay, so if this is 8, the only possible way is 2, 2 and 4. That means this would have to be 9, 1, 3 and 5. 1, 3 would have to be here, 5 would have to be here, 4 would have to be here. Possible. If this is 9, if this is not a 3, this would have to be 4. One, 3, 2, 3. that has to be 7 more, that is 6 1 not possible, 5 2 2 2 5 possible, okay, 3 and 4 still possible. Okay, we are missing something, there has to be something here that we are missing. Maybe some classic Sudoku rules, some classic thing that we haven't applied here. 1 2 3 4 5, so this is 2 3, this would have to be 4 5, 2 3 4 5, 3 4 5, and 2 3 4 and 5. Okay, you have a 4 5 pair here, 6 7 8 and 9, 9 not 6 7 8, 6 7 and 8, 6 and 7. One and 4, 5 plus 3 is 8. Okay, this cannot be a 5 because the minimum sum in these two cells can only be 10, so 7. If you have a 5 here, this would have to be 3, that is 8. So you'll have 18 in these 6 cells, that should give you both 9 and 9 here. So this cell cannot be a 5. This is 4, this would have to be 3, that gives you a 17 here. Okay, so if this is a 4 here, this is 5, this is 4, right? So this cell, because of the 4 here, this would have to be 1 3 5 9. Because of the 4 here, this would have to be 2 and 3 9. So this cell cannot be a 4. Something very complicated, but if this is a 3, this would have to be 4, right? So if this is a 3, this would have to be 4 5. So this is 8. This would have to be 9, that is 2 and 4, still possible. Okay, 3 is possible here. Come on, what are we missing here? You should be missing something really simple. 8 is in one of these two cells, so this is 9. 9 is in one of these two cells. This cannot be a 9. If this is 5, this would have to be 1 or a 2. 1 is not possible. This cell cannot be a 5. This is a 4, 2 and 3. 4, 3 and a 2 here. Two, 3, 4 and 5 is 14, 15, 16 and 17 possible. 3, come on. If 3 is not there, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 5, 1 plus 2 plus 4 plus 5 is 19, 12. You need to have a 5 here, that is 2 and 3. Come on guys, I am sure I am missing something really simple here. This is 7 and an 8. One three four is 8. 135 is 9. 3 is in one of these two cells, right? These three cells. One and 3, 2 and 4. Oh guys, come on. That's the simplest thing I could miss. One would have to be in one of these two cells. This is a 1 here. How could I miss this, guys? How could I miss this? This would have to be a 1. Which means this would have to be a 1. Which means this would have to be a 1. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Is 10. Okay. So this is 1. So 3 and 4, 3, 4 and 5 here. We have placed all the ones, right? If this is not a 2, if this is not a 2, this would have to be a 2, this would have to be a 3, this would have to be a 4. 2 and 3 would give you 5. This can be 3 and 4. 8 and 9. Okay, possible. Eight and 9 cannot be here, 8 cannot be here, right? So 8 would have to be in one of these two cells or these two cells. Okay, one, 4 and 5 is 10, 15, 16, 17. If this is not a 3, this would have to be a 4, 5, 2, 6. This will also be a 9, this will also be a 9. So this cell would have to be a 3. Okay. You need 5 or 6. Either 2 or a 3 or 2 or a 4. So 2 is in one of these two cells, right? I'm surely missing something. This shouldn't have been that bad. Come on. How can I get stuck in this one? Yeah. Two and 3, that is okay. You will have a minimum of 4 here. If you don't have, okay, if this is a 4, 2 and 3, 9, that is 8 here. 3 and 4 again. 2 and a 3 here. This would give you a 5 and an 8. Seven, right? So 4, 3, 5 and 2. No, 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 no. If this is a 4, this would have to be 3 and 8. This would have to be 2. So for the 9 you need 7 more, right? 6 1 is not there. 5 2 is possible. If you have 5 years, so this would have to be 4. 3 5 is 9. Am I missing some classic Sudoku rules here? So if this is a 2 here, this would have to be a 2. This would have to be a 3. So either 3 or 4. So this would have to be 4. Mm-hmm. 2 is still possible here. 5 6 7 and 8. I'm sure I'm something missing with the classics rules. 8 and 9 is not possible. 5 6 7. 5 6 7 and 8. 5 6 7. 8 is in one of these two cells. This is a 4. This would have to be a 4. It would have to be 2 and a 3. That is fine. You get 9 and 8. If this is 3, this would have to be 5. 2 and a 4 here. Anything is possible here. Come on guys, I need your help. What am I missing here? That is totally bad here. I am seriously stuck up here in this grid here at this point and couldn't see anything much here with the logic, or maybe I'm seriously missing some classic rules, some easy classic rules. I'm 100% sure I'm missing some easy classic rules, because this shouldn't be that tough. But 2 cannot be here. Okay, 3 cannot be here. 1 2 6 7 8 and 9. Come on. I am surely missing something. Okay, so 2 would have to be in one of these two cells, right? And is it necessary that 2 would have to be in one of these two cells? If not, what would happen? You would have 3 and 4 here, that is 5 here. This comes to 9, 4, again this also would be 9. So 2 also would have to be in one of these two cells. That's awesome. So which means this cell would have to be a 3 now, because you have an x wing of 2 here. This would have to be a 3, that gives you a 2 here, and that actually should be finishable. Now 2 is with 5 and 3 is with 4. Right? Okay. So 4 also would have to be in one of these 3 cells. Okay, so we got something here at least. This is 9. Okay, if this is 2, this would have to be 2 and this would have to be 4, right? That means this would have to be 9. This would have to be 4. So 1, no, this would have to be 1, 3 and 5 possible. And if this is a 9, this cannot be a 2. You need 7 more. So with a 9 on a 7 more, you'll have 6, 1, 5 and 2, not possible. 3 and a 4. 2, 3 and 4. That is still possible. There has to be something here, guys. I'm sure there has to be something here, because if this is not a 2 here, this is 3 and 4, 7, 17. So if this is not a 2, let us assume this is not a 2, this would have to be a 2. This would have to be 4, that gives you a 9 here. And a 2 here, a 9, 8 here. Okay, so you cannot fulfill the 8 with 1, 2. Not at all possible. Okay, so this well would have to be a 2. I am not sure if there is something else that I am missing, but this would have to be a 2 now. So this can either be 4 or a 5. 5 is not possible. So this is a 4. That gives you 8 here. That gives you 9 here. That gives you 4 here. That is 3 and 5 now. This cell would have to be 5. Eliminates 2 and 5 from these cells. 4 from these cells. So this is a 7 now. So 7 is eliminated from these two cells. Sorry, how did I highlight it again? I'll remove the highlight. Okay, so these are 7 now. 5, 6 and 8. 9 is also eliminated from these cells. So this cell is a 9. So this cell is an 8 now. That gives you a 3 and a 4 here. that gives you 4 and a 3 here. This is 9, that is 2. You eliminate 3 from this cell. 5, 6 and 7. I was not sure if I was missing something. So this cell was the 2, 5, 6 and 7. Okay, I think so we have completed all the circles except this one, that is the odd one here. Six, 7 and 8. So you need to have a 3 in one of these two cells. You need a 3 and a 5 here. 5 cannot be here. Okay. 4, where can 4 be? 4 would have to be here. That gives you a 4 here. That gives you a 3 here. 5, 3, 3. That removes 5 from this cell. These cells would have to be 6 and 7. So eliminate 6 and 7 from this cell. Again, where am I? Okay. So this is 8, 5, 9, 4. 8 from these cells, 5 from this cell, 8 from this cell, it cannot be 9 as well. So this cell would have to be a 9, this cell would have to be a 9, and this is 5, 6 and 7, 5, 6, 7, 8. That was really difficult one, guys. Either I missed something. I would really love to know if there was something that I have missed. Sorry. I would really love to know if that was something that we missed, because I am not sure. I was still in confusion that what I had missed. Right. So this Sudoku is solvable now. Okay. 7 is not here. 6 and 8. 6, 7. So this would have to be an 8. That gives you an 8 here. That gives you 6, 7, 6, 7, 6 and 8. So 6, 8, 6 and 9. So 9 and 6. I hope you have not broken here. That would be very bad. Very, very bad. 5 and 6 here. That is 6. 7, 6, 7, 7 and 5, 5 and 8, 5 and 6, right? 6, 5, 6, 7 and 5. And with that we complete this Sudoku. That was awesome, guys. I don't know how did I miss that part, but there might be something that I have missed, and please, I would love to know from you all that what I had missed in the Sudoku. I don't know how I solved this Sudoku. This was really, really difficult one, but thanks a lot, Ambrose, for such a wonderful Sudoku. I really enjoyed this one. Really different kind of variant here, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Do like and comment if you want us to solve any other Sudoku variant or a puzzle journal, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you.